I have a fully funded 401k, a paid-off house, and zero debt. But if I could trade my bank account for the time I sold to get it, I would do it in a heartbeat. I turned 70 last week. It's a strange number. When you're 30, 70 sounds ancient, like the end of the book. But when you wake up and you are actually 70, you feel exactly the same on the inside as you did at 40. The only difference is, the road ahead is a lot shorter than the road behind. My kids came over for a small party. We had cake. They asked me how it felt to be retired, to be secure. They looked at my life, the nice suburban house, the 2 cars in the driveway, the stability, and they called it success. And I smiled. I thanked them. But later that night, when the house was quiet and the plates were put away, I sat in the dark and felt a knot in my stomach. See, I spent 45 years obsessing over numbers. I chased promotions. I worked late. I worried about the stock market. I thought I was building a life. But looking back from here, I realized I made some terrible trades. We are taught that financial mistakes are things like buying the wrong stock, or not saving enough, or taking on credit card debt. And sure, those are mistakes. But the biggest financial mistakes I made weren't mathematical. They were emotional. They were about what I spent my money and my time on. If you are 35, or 50, or even 60, please listen to me. This is the elder wisdom I wish someone had shaken into me when I was young. My first big mistake was letting my lifestyle inflate every single time I got a raise. We call this lifestyle creep, but really, it's just insecurity masked as ambition. When I was 40, I got a big promotion. We immediately moved into a bigger house. We bought new furniture to fill the rooms we didn't use. We leased luxury cars because that's what successful people drove. I thought I was rewarding myself. But what I was actually doing was tightening the chains. Because that big house had a big mortgage. Those cars had big payments. Suddenly, I couldn't quit the job I hated. I couldn't take a month off to travel with my wife. I had built a golden cage and locked myself inside it. I see so many people doing this. You buy things to impress people you don't even like. I look at that big dining room table we bought 30 years ago. It cost me 2 months of salary. Do you know how many times we sat there as a family? Maybe 10 times. The rest of the time, I was at the office, working to pay for the table. True wealth isn't having the things. True wealth is having the freedom. If I could go back, I would live in a smaller house. I would drive the used car. And I would have bought myself 20 years of freedom. This is the one that hurts the most. I fell into the trap of the deferred life plan. This is the idea that you suffer now so you can be happy later. You work 60 hours a week now so you can relax when you're 65. I missed baseball games. I missed school plays. I remember my daughter asking me to play catch one Saturday, and I told her, "Not now, honey, Daddy has to finish this report. We'll do it next weekend." I sold that Saturday afternoon for a little bit of money. And I told myself it was for her. I was doing it to pay for her college. I was doing it for our future. But here is the brutal truth about retirement advice that no financial advisor tells you: you cannot buy back the past. My daughter is 42 now. She lives in another state. I have all the time in the world to play catch now. But she's gone. That window is closed. I see people hoarding money like squirrels, terrified of running out. And yes, you need security. But I treated money as the goal, rather than a tool. I traded my health and my relationships for a bank balance. I have friends who saved every penny, planning to travel the world when they retired. 2 of them got cancer the year they turned 64. They never went. Don't spend your whole life preparing to live. You have to live a little bit along the way. That vacation you're putting off? Take it. That hobby you're too busy for? Start it. My third mistake was investing in assets that depreciate instead of assets that grow. And I don't mean stocks. I mean I didn't invest enough in myself and my experiences. Personal growth stops for a lot of people when they leave school. It stopped for me. I became a machine. I didn't learn new languages. I didn't learn to paint. I didn't learn how to cook well. I just worked. When I retired, I hit a wall. I had no job title. I had no meetings. And I realized I didn't know who I was without my business card. I had no hobbies. I had no purpose. I had invested in my portfolio, but I hadn't invested in my soul. Aging and happiness are closely tied to curiosity. The happiest people I know at 70 aren't the ones with the most money. They are the ones who are still learning. The ones who are planting gardens, or learning guitar, or writing books. If I could do it over, I would spend less on electronics and cars, and more on classes, trips, and skills. Because when you are sitting in this chair at 70, your memories are the only thing you really own. I don't want to sound ungrateful. I am lucky. I have a roof over my head. I have food. But looking back, I realized that the American dream I was sold was a bit of a trick. It convinced me that happiness was something I could purchase if I just worked hard enough. Life lessons after 60 hit you hard. You realize that money is just fuel. It's not the destination. The destination is the time you spend with people you love. The destination is the peace of mind of knowing you are enough, just as you are. If you are struggling right now, feeling like you're behind, or that you don't have enough, take a breath. Look around you. If you have your health, you are wealthy. If you have someone to call when you are sad, you are wealthy. If you have a quiet morning with a cup of coffee, you are wealthy. Don't wait until you're 70 to realize that you already had everything you were looking for. I hope my mistakes can save you some time. We are all just walking each other home, after all. If this helped you, share it with someone you care about. Maybe it's a spouse, or a child, or a friend who is working too hard. And follow for more real-life lessons. I've got a few more stories to tell. Take care of yourselves.